Alright, so the winter ice storm has finally arrived in Dallas. I'll just give you a quick tour of what's going on around our house and our vegetable garden here. As you can see behind me, this is actually a crepe myrtle tree that is bent over, covered in ice. The leaves here in Dallas have not fallen off all the trees here yet, and so the ice has covered the limbs and the leaves of the trees. And I'll show you a lot of trees all over the city just cracked in half. If you listen, you can just hear this stuff creaking and cracking. I'm making sure not to stand under any trees because actually they had it on the news. One lady, I don't know if she survived or not, but she got hit with a tree limb being outside under a tree that the limb cracked and broke in half from ice covered. So let's just give you a quick tour of our garden here. So the weather here is supposed to be, for different reports I've heard, said from between 60 and 96 hours below freezing, well below freezing, a deep freeze here in Dallas. It's about 27 degrees right now Fahrenheit. It's supposed to get down in a couple of days down to 15, the low one night I heard. Different reports and different weathermen, but let's check out our vegetable garden here in the ice storm of 2013 in Dallas. So as far as the garden goes, well, I didn't do any row cover, no protection. I've been too busy working. Let me go around the other side. I don't want to go under this tree here. Sugar snap peas here. What's left of them, maybe, covered in ice. This is the sorrel and bok choy, purple bok choy, also covered in ice. This stuff here is the cilantro and some lettuce that was starting to sprout, covered in ice. Actually, this lettuce may not make it. There's some lettuce over here. Cabbage, Brussels sprouts over here. This also, I think the cabbage will be okay. The Brussels sprouts will probably be okay. They're looking not bad. Let me go around the other side, show you what else we got going on. This here is Chinese cabbage. It looks all but froze. This is where the basil and pepper plants are. They've been dead for a while. Tomato plants we picked several weeks ago when the first freeze happened. They're dead. The Swiss chard. Don't know how it's gonna turn out. It has done very well for us growing, but it's covered in ice here. Grab it here and show you. Oh my goodness. I mean, it is a good half-inch thick of ice here. I mean, look at this. I mean, this is just covered. This is one leaf here, just covered in ice. I mean, this is pretty thick, covered in ice. This thing's hard as a rock. Oops, I broke a piece. Show you here. So we got a nice coating of ice on everything. And here is our garlic and shallots over here. They'll be okay. They're in the ground. No big deal there. Not much else is going on over here in our garden. I haven't really planted anything else out here. There's some kale over here also. It'll probably be alright. Broccoli. Check this out. We have already harvested most of our broccoli, but we got some broccoli shoots that are coming up. These are all but covered in ice here. But they'll be alright. The broccoli will. So will the all these Brussels sprouts here will be just fine. So there's just a quick shot of our iced winter vegetable garden. Here's the front yard flower bed. We planted Swiss chard, and this is a red Russian kale, both glazed over with ice. Actually, the kale doesn't look too bad. I think it's gonna do just fine. But the Swiss chard, it might be alright too, actually. We'll see once this thaw happens. Look at this tree over here. Our front yard trees are looking bad. Look how they're just bent over. I mean, you see the limbs just hanging and bending over here. I can just hear them creaking. Checking on our trees here. As you can see, they are breaking. It's Molly walking on the ice. So trees all over the city are just cracking because the leaves have not fallen off of our trees here in Dallas, and they're covered in ice, and they are just limbs all over the streets from the ice. Check out our crepe myrtle over here. Check this out. This is one of our crepe myrtles, bent over, almost touching the ground. Hopefully this will recover. Rose bushes. These are the knockout roses. Bent over, covered in ice. This here, I was standing behind, this is the actually a crepe myrtle that is pretty much bent over and is laying on top of our chicken coop. Chickens are happy, they're okay. They got plenty of feed and warmth and water. You can see in there, there's a heat lamp. We got them. They are not venturing out on the ice though, I will say that much. But they're happy as can be. Here's our mulberry tree, leaning quite a bit to the ground. Most definitely not going to be walking under this tree. Crepe myrtle tree here. I mean, look how much ice is on this thin limb here. I mean, this thing is, I don't want to touch it too much, it might just break right off. This thing's heavy. And this thing is heavy, full of ice. We'll see what survives after all of this. I mean, this limb is leaning on top of our fence here, so that's going to give it some support, hopefully. The actual main branch won't crack. All right, so there's just a quick update of our winter storm here in Dallas. This is ice that you saw on the ground. This is not snow, no snow here. We only get ice storms pretty much, only maybe 1 or 2 snows out of a year. Here's our house all lit up for Christmas. So thanks for watching, stay warm, and we'll see what happens.